Dame Olwen H.Hufton, DBE, FRHistS is a British historian of early modern Europe and a pioneer of social history and of women's history. She is an expert on early modern, Western European comparative socio-cultural history with special emphasis on gender, poverty, social relations, religion and work. Since 2006 she has been a part-time Professorial Research Fellow at Royal Holloway, University of London. Biography. Born in 1938 in Oldham, Lancashire, Hufton was 7 before she saw a banana at the end of the Second World War. This might be deemed good preparation for an historian of poverty. She was awarded a scholarship at a local grammar school, and became the only council house child in her form. Further, she went to University College London, where she encountered Alfred Cockburn, the great revisionist historian of the French Revolution. It was Cockburn who first advanced the view that the life of most French people was little changed by the Revolution, and indeed that the urban poor were worse off as a result of the abolition of the tithe by the National Constituent Assembly, because the tithe funded the charitable work of the Church. Hufton's academic career began as a lecturer at the University of Leicester from 1963 to 1966. From Leicester she moved to the University of Reading, where she taught for more than 20 years, and then to Harvard, where from 1987 to 1991 she was the university's first professor of modern history and women's studies. After 4 years in America, she returned to Europe in 1991 to become professor of history and civilization at the European University Institute in Florence. 6 years later, in 1997, she returned to Britain to become Leverhulme Professor of History at Oxford. She retired in 2003, and is now Fellow Emeritus of Merton College. In 2006, she joined Royal Holloway as a part-time Professorial Research Fellow in the History Department. Honours and recognition. Hufton is a Fellow of the British Academy and of the Royal Historical Society. She was made a Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire in 2004. She holds honorary fellowships at UCL and Royal Holloway, and honorary degrees from Reading and Southampton. The University of Glasgow hosts a Hufton postgraduate reading group centered on women's history. In 2006 she was presented with a FRHistS entitled The Art of Survival, Gender and History in Europe, 1450 to 2000. Publications. Bayeux in the late 18th century. The Poor of 18th Century France. Women and the Limits of Citizenship in the French Revolution. The Prospect Before Her, A History of Women in Western Europe, I. 1500 to 1800. Europe, Privilege and Protest, 1730 to 1789.